No, I do not understand anything about white fragility.
White fragility? What's that supposed to mean?
You know what it means. You're doing it right now.
Doing what?
Being defensive.
He could be dating Zoe for Zoe. Have you guys ever thought about that?
Well, what I do know is we voted, and Becky with the red hair is officially uninvited to the princess party.
Get your drugs here. Narc. Narc. White girl with too much money. White girl with too much money.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Blue, and we're back with another video. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So this one's actually going to be pretty interesting. I stumbled upon this when I was just on my YouTube. So this is actually from Notch Silence. It's how Static Shock, a Marvel character, DC character. I don't know why I said Marvel. How Static Shock tackles racism better than the Proud Family reboot. Now, if there's one thing that I don't like is overdoing it. The Proud Family reboot completely overdoes it. I love the Proud Family, the original Proud Family from back in the day, you know, Disney TV and all that stuff. But this new Proud Family, I mean, I guess it's interesting enough to just watch and see the storyline and stuff like that. But all the wokeness that they're throwing in there, it's not it. And you're not teaching anybody anything like of substance. You're just teaching them how to separate yourself from other people instead of finding ways to join people. You can acknowledge differences amongst different people, but you shouldn't really be segregating yourself from other people, even though they claim that that's what other people do. I don't know. It's ridiculous. So Static Shock, and I did watch this video. The episode that they had brought up was a very well drawn out episode, and it gave me vibes of just like how Martin Luther King would want things to be, how to respond in certain situations, as opposed to the way that the world expects you to respond now, the way that the Black community expects you to respond now, the way that the left expects you to respond now when it comes to racism. You don't just sit here and you know, try to fight, and especially if nothing's even happening to you, just the idea of anything being racist, you make a comment about it or try to shove educational stuff about the African culture down people's throat or stuff like that. You don't do that, because this is a different time period. We're just out here trying to live. So I just want to bring up this video and see what it is. So once again, it's called How Static Shock Tackles Racism Better Than the Proud Family Reboot. Let's get it. Yo, what's going on, everybody? The time is nigh. We're getting so much closer to getting to 1,000 subs, and as promised, we're going to be doing a giveaway. 2 people are going to get a chance to win $25 gift cards to Amazon. All you have to do is just hit that like button, press that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed, go down to the description where you're going to find the link to enter for the giveaway. And once I hit 1,000 subs, I'm going to go ahead and do a live. I'll let you guys know ahead of time. We're going to do this, and as I mentioned before, the more that the channel grows, the more that these giveaways are just going to increase. So y'all stick around and y'all go ahead and watch these videos. Let's get this thing up. Let's go ahead and get back to the video.
Oh, you understand, love, don't you?
No, I do not understand anything about white fragility.
White fragility? What's that supposed to mean?
You know what it means. You're doing it right now.
Doing what?
Being defensive about race.
Yeah, but isn't it a little comforting to see?
And I also did, and the volume is going to be a little low. I'll try to adjust it and make it louder. I also didn't know that this black Scooby-Doo thing, I did not know it was real. I thought it was just fan-made.
A rich white guy get wrongly convicted for once?
I'm too distracted to enjoy it.
You serious?
Hey guys, I'm Noxylence, and today I want to talk about 2 shows that recently garnered attention and controversy due to the message they've been trying to push. The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, and Velma. Although these 2 shows are incredibly different, with Louder and Prouder being a kid-friendly continuation of the original Proud Family, and Velma being a raunchy, adult-oriented reboot of the classic Scooby-Doo series, these shows do have one thing in common. Both shows try to portray racism, and ironically enough, both shows fail to do that without coming off as racist. Here, let me show you what I mean.
There is nothing wrong with you or any of us. He just likes Zoe.
Because she's white.
Would Fred kill Brenda just because she photographed him in the bathroom?
Why wouldn't he? If I were a rich white dude, I'd kill everybody just to get away with it.
He could be dating Zoe for Zoe. Have you guys ever thought about that?
Well, know is we voted, and Becky with the red hair is officially uninvited to the princess party.
Get your drugs here.
Narc. Narc. White girl with too much money. White girl with too much money.
Reparations for their suffering. And continue to
Oh
earn
man,
reparations every
this is even tough to watch. Honestly, like, Mike, this just screams victimhood. Like, bro, calm down. And it's just weird seeing a black Velma. I don't know.
moment we spent submerged in the systemic prejudice, racism, and white supremacy that America was founded with.
Look, I have no problem with racism being portrayed in media. However, if a show tries to vilify white people in the present just because of horrible things that white people in the past have done, then that show is pushing racism, or the color of the victims switch from black to white. You want to know a show that did a good job of addressing racism? A little superhero cartoon that aired on Kids WB known as Static Shock. Static Shock was one of my favorite shows growing up, and Static himself is my favorite DC superhero. Not only was the show entertaining, but it also did a good job when it tried to touch on serious subjects, such as the effects bullying has on people.
That episode was tough, man. Like, when I tell you, heart pounding like the whole time, just because it's like bullying is real. And as you can tell, people that are like legitly bullied, not because of your feelings and stuff like that, but people are literally picking on you, messing with you, and like making life a living hell for you every day. That stuff is what bullying used to be, not social media. If you're on social media and you're getting bullied, stop being on social media. It's as simple as that. But when you have to go to school and they're picking on you at school, nah, bro, that leads to a whole different level of trauma and like fear and anger and stuff.
Why you shouldn't let people peer pressure you into doing something you're not comfortable doing, and of course, racism. The topic of racism is brought up in Static Shock Episode 8, Sons of the Fathers. When Virgil, Static's alter ego, is invited over to his best friend Richie's house, he finally has the chance to meet Richie's mother and father. While Richie's mother Maggie is nice and welcoming to her guests, Richie's father Sean comes off as rude and grumpy. Virgil shrugs it off and chalks up his attitude to having a long day at work, which is a fair assumption. However, that doesn't mean that that's the truth. After they all have dinner, Virgil goes to Richie's bathroom so that he can brush his teeth and go to bed. On his way, Virgil hears Sean talking to Maggie about how Virgil's a bad influence on Richie and how him and his kind are all hoodlums.
Because he's black and he has dreadlock. That's why.
Virgil is understandably hurt by this comment and decides to leave Richie's house, upsetting Richie to the point where he lashes out at his father and locks himself in his room. The next day, Virgil finds out that Richie ran away from home due to how angry he was at his father for driving Virgil away. While Virgil suits up and looks around for Richie as Static, Sean reluctantly goes to Virgil's father, Robert, for help finding his son. Once Virgil finds Richie, he tells him that he needs to work out his problems with his father at home, and that no matter what his father might have said, him and Virgil will always be friends, no matter what. This gives Richie a sense of relief and gives him the courage to go home. Until he gets kidnapped by a supervillain called Ebon less than 5 seconds later.
Who's also black. So again, the justification for, not really justification, but for the evidence for the dad, like, see, this is what happens. But anyways, let's keep going.
Meanwhile, Sean and Robert search the neighborhood in order to find Richie. The topic of the previous night comes up, causing Robert to call Sean out on his bigotry and how his inability to accept Virgil as Richie's friend will cause him and Richie to never be close with each other. When Richie is rescued and reunited with his father, the two are able to reconcile, and Sean learns to let go of his bigotry and accept Virgil as Richie's friend. The reason that Static Shock tackled racism better than Louder and Prouder and Velma did is because it actually addressed racism in a way that doesn't come off as hateful and disingenuous. Sean may have been a racist jerk, but that doesn't mean that Richie was, and that doesn't mean that Richie should have to feel responsible for his father's actions or beliefs. Meanwhile, shows like Louder and Prouder and Velma push the message that white people need to do better, and they still need to make up for the actions of people they never met, just because they share the same skin color. Disgusting. That's such a disgusting message to try and push on people. While shows like Static Shock teach a lesson by building a story around the lesson they're trying to teach, shows like Louder and Prouder and Velma just want to push a message without any type of substance behind it. Before I go, I want to leave you guys with this. Anyone is capable of racism, and anyone who is racist is capable of changing, and characters like Sean are able to prove that. Shows like Louder and Prouder and Velma may try to tell you otherwise, but these shows only want to perpetuate hate and victimhood instead of actually trying to teach people why racism is bad. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video and you want to show support, please
Yeah, that's literally the gist of it. The reason why I find this video to be very interesting and crazy, because like I said, like, and I mean, like Notch was saying, like when it comes to bringing up race in America and stuff like that, it's okay to bring that stuff up. It's okay to have those conversations. They're in the books. It's okay to talk about them in the books. We knew about the slavery because they were in the books. They were taught at school. This is what happened during the civil rights. This is what happened when they brought in the slaves to America. This is the amount of lacerations and the fire hoses and the dogs and the hanging and the lynching, To Kill a Mockingbird. They mention all of that stuff in school. These are stuff that aren't happening anymore. Well, I know somebody's gonna be like, oh, they're happening some places you just don't know. Okay, fair enough. But it's not publicized. It's far less than what it was before. And it's far less of a concern than what it was before. Are there people that's out there that's racist? Yes, but that's their problem. It's not the nation as a whole that's racist as it once was before. It's not the majority of white people that are racist like it once was before. So when you reach those people that are racist and are doing racist things, okay, yes, you can bring out the whole race thing and stuff like that. You're probably not going to get anywhere, but you could bring it up. But when you have white people that are just living their lives and just trying to do things, if you continuously have the whole race thing in the back of your mind, anything that they do is going to be offensive to you. And that is just putting more stress, more frustration, more anger inside of you that wasn't there to begin with. Why would you want to live like that? It's just, and I guess this is part of the whole race trauma and stuff like that people keep talking about. Okay, get therapy for it. Understand that you're in a time zone where wherever you're at is based off of the decisions that you make. And that's the thing that we need to start teaching the people before us, which again, the fathers were able to reconcile, or the white father, Sean, he was able to figure his life out and see that, okay, not all black people are like this. So, you know, you're just able to do what you're able to do. So you're able to manage yourself and thus be able to live life better, because this negative thought that's in your head is no longer there. That's something that you don't have to stress about. You don't have to keep on the back of your mind. And that's good. That is good. We shouldn't be living in a lifestyle where we're constantly worrying about race, this person being racist, or our reparations and all that. You shouldn't be wanting to. And if you're the person that's feeling like that, you should be finding ways to get out of that mindset. What are ways that you can get out of it? Is the only way that you'll get out of this mindset is if you get your reparations? Really? So the only way you'll be okay is if the white person gives you money? That's how you'll be okay? You don't want to just let things go and then live your life and then make something out of yourself and be like, yeah, I did that. That sounds a lot more, to me, that sounds like a lot more one-up than trying to just shove the black culture down in somebody's throat. That, hey, I'm black, I probably didn't know this, I probably didn't know that, but I managed to get all the information that I needed to and made something of myself, and now I am where I am. See me now. Look at me now. Like, that's all it really is. But I mean, I don't know, interesting video. I do like that take. These reboots and this wokeness that they're trying to push is really disgusting, and I really don't like it. Like, I hate the fact that Proud Family did that. I didn't know Velma was black. I'm definitely not watching it now if they're doing stuff like that. Like, it's just cringy. It's just cringy. Interesting video nonetheless. I think there's a couple more videos that he has. I'm probably going to do those as well. If you like the video, go ahead and like, and if you want to see the next video, hit that bell so you know exactly when's the next time I drop another video. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. Take it easy. Peace.